How valuable are links to other sites in increasing credibility? One of the websites that you showed had the Better Business Bureau there, BBB. Do those things help?
Links are incredibly valuable. Reciprocated links are even much more valuable. And I'm going to say this in such a valuable way so people just understand how many of you inadvertently help the enemy. Okay? So forgive me if I'm loose on my explanation. Everyone should be able to read between the lines. There are some companies, lead gen, rating review companies, that love to offer you this little logo and this little symbol of this and little acknowledgement of this, with the ultimate goal of you showing their company and giving a link to their website, usually their homepage, which is devastating for you long term. What happens is, every time you get a link, you give a link or you get a link, you have to think of it as like two buddies meeting somewhere and introducing them to a third. And there's two different ways of an introduction. There's like me saying, hey, to everybody, Devin's a really great person, and she's this and she's that, and I introduce her that way, and I pat her on the back, let's say. But then comes the introduction that while I'm saying hello to the third person, and I'm like, hey, you know, Devin's a great person, and simultaneously, while I'm patting her on the back, she says, and Brian's a good person too, which is called a reciprocated link. So what happens is, every time you get a link, there's a couple of separate issues. The first is, who is the person patting you on the back? So what happens is, you don't want to go out and buy links. Let's make sure everybody understands that. There are services out there that you read something and see, I only have one inbound link. Oh my God, nobody believes I'm credible. Let me quickly go buy 300 inbound links. Trust me, you've just stepped in quicksand, because Google and all the other engines are aware of those firms, and they give you, not only do they you've ruined it, you've actually said, I'm willing to purchase credibility that doesn't exist. So you might as well just say you're a thief. Okay? And it's hard for me to help you recover. It's the equivalent of a guy coming out of jail and he's paid his dues, but he still has to prove himself different than somebody who just lives an honest life. So what I would do is tell you, when it comes to inbound links, and there is a strategy, I can't give away every secret here on this public phone, but those inbound links are very important, but at the same time comes the opportunity that when you're getting an inbound link to you, that there's a reason why you would be linking back to the website. And what you want to do is just be careful that that link back is not helping somebody who can be your competitor. And trust me, the lead gen rating review sites, at the end of the day, they wake up to sell information to anyone who's willing to pay for it. So if it's not you during that day, you have to say, think carefully, and again, I'd rather talk further about this offline, just not to give away the store, that if you're reciprocating a link to somebody else or an acknowledgement, if there's a way that they could hurt you over time, you'll never know if it's happening or not. So getting inbound links and references is important, and there's a strategy on how people acknowledge you. By the way, calling your local paper, hello, I'd like to have a story written about me. I'd like, community involvement, whatever it may be. Any reference to your website is a very powerful tool. And then also, who is referencing to you? If you look at my site, here's an example. I had a little blurb in Forbes as America's Most Promising Opportunities. I get a inbound link from Forbes saying I'm a good guy. That outweighs somebody else who has 50 inbound links from some, no-name sites that nobody knows who they are. So it's not just the power of having an inbound link, which is important. It's the value of who is that company saying you're a good guy or a good business. And it's very, very helpful to SEO credibility.